Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Super Sentai Super Show, the podcast where all our explosions look real and totally pay off.
Oh, we're gonna start wrestling right from the jump.
I'm Fire Prince Lily, and I am joined, as always, by my friend Justice Ray. Hey, Ray, how are you doing today?
Currently not suffering from any debilitating panic attacks.
Hey, that's good.
How refreshing.
That's, if I had to choose a state to be in, it's definitely that one.
And not North Carolina! I will shoehorn that in any time. That
Right.
intro is just precious. Anyway.
So what have you been up to?
I've been fine. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Ban list just dropped today.
I heard something about that. Something about no ban list.
No, there's a ban list.
Okay.
Or
being
the
empty.
things that were hit were some cards that I needed in my Cyber Dragon deck, and one of my other decks.
This is for actual Yu-Gi-Oh, not like Duel Links.
No, this is actual Yu-Gi-Oh,
okay.
not Duel Links.
Cool.
But yeah, Union Carrier got hit. Yeah, Union Hanger got hit. Union Carrier got hit, and Utopic Zexal also got hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No more I play and you don't rules.
Yeah, I only played Duel Links, to be honest.
Oh, lucky you. Nah, I got back into the cardboard like last year, and gotta say it's been a trip. I used the Sacred Beast for like a while until like I couldn't like proceed past the hand traps. So I was like, all right, I gotta play this game the way they play it. So I played Numeron Sacred Beast, so that way I can play my first turn and the opponent can't.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like the reason why it was banned is because it can have up to 3 materials on it, and when you detach one of the XYZ materials during the opponent's turn, they can't activate any cards for the rest of the turn.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, the only really stop it is to negate the effect on the standby phase. So you got to use like Forbidden Droplets, Infinite Permanence, or Book of Moon or something like that. But it won't negate the effect. So, well, unless it negates the effect, it'd be pointless to Book of Moon it. But you get the idea.
Yeah, I get the idea.
And then if they do negate it, you can activate Witch's Strike the ad set and destroy their hand in their field, and then laugh at them as you've taken their turn away from them already. Like, you won't be moving anyway. That's the plan.
Jeez.
Okay. Yep. But that's my today. I also had a calzone.
Hey.
The Ben Wyatt special.
The Ben White special?
The Ben Wyatt special.
Okay.
Parks and Rec.
Oh, yeah. I've only watched a few episodes of Parks and Rec. So.
Fix it.
Yeah, that's just flying over my head.
No, I was just saying fix it. Fix that. Fix it.
Oh. It's sitcom stuff.
I know.
And it's got Chris Pratt, and I'm not very big on him right now.
Things are better when he wasn't a shitbag.
Right? I mean, he's always been one. It's just better when we didn't know about it.
Right. Sad face.
I'll probably still watch the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie whenever it comes out. So.
We'll just laugh every time he gets knocked on his ass.
Yeah. Anything else been going on since we last recorded?
Nope.
Oh, cool.
Not a lot.
As for me, I've just been working. Work is what I do. I go to sleep. I wake up way before I'm supposed to. And then I go to work hours later. And am just exhausted all the time. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong. Like my body wakes up because it needs like use the restroom, and then my brain's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh cool, you slept for however long I slept. It's time to be up. You've had some sleep. That's just my life now, and I don't know. I don't get it.
No, you slept. I didn't
Yeah,
sleep long enough. You slept.
yeah. I don't see the issue here. You got sleep. So yeah. They announced Infinity Train Book 4 like yesterday. Not. I mean, they announced it before, but they finally like dropped a trailer for it, and I gotta
Oh, okay.
say, excited, of course, and
Didn't the Batman trailer drop yesterday too?
oh, I have no idea.
A friend sent me it. Well, I
I
haven't checked it out.
I am excited for Infinity Train Book 4. Um, not not exactly happy that it's not going to be focused on Amelia because I thought for
Mhm.
sure we'd get Amelia's story, and since this might be the last book, I really wanted to know, what happens to her. Does she get her number all the way down? Does she not? Does she like revert and become evil again? I don't know. Like
I mean, some
and
of her actions are not like what's the word I'm looking for? Like I think she's like irreprehensible. Like,
no, I don't think she's irreprehensible. I don't think she's irredeemable in any kind of way.
mm,
She definitely did bad, but she didn't like. Okay, she's not like Simon. Simon straight up was like ready to do all the murders.
right.
That's not what Amelia was about. She was like, just do whatever you have to do on the stupid fucking train, so long as you don't get in my way. Like that
Yeah.
that that was Amelia. She hijacked a train, and really, who hasn't hijacked a train? But
I mean, who hasn't, right?
right.
Like, is this your first?
I mean, she definitely caused a lot of problems for the denizens on the train, and that's not good. But
Mm-mm.
we're on that. Are the denizens real people or not? And I think they are. But for like the average uh, person, maybe somebody in Amelia's mindset who's been given this gift of train that can do anything after her husband just died, um, I think it's understandable that she would just see it as like a program rather than like living beings.
I
I
don't
think
know.
I think that's fair.
Okay.
Not good, but fair. So, and since Hazel went with her last season, like
Mm-hmm.
Hazel could be her denizen that helps her get off the train finally.
I can only hope.
Uh, yeah. But
DuckTales is moving to its finale.
yes, that's sad. I
Yeah,
hate it. I mean,
I
good
hate it.
show. Just hate that it's ending. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I hate that it's ending, and I have a friend who refuses to let me call it saying that it's been canceled because like the creators were given plenty of warning in advance to like tie up their stuff, but that's still canceled. It's still not ending like
Mm-hmm.
on their terms. They were just given advanced warning. It's not like Rise where they were given like a couple of months warning.
Right.
That sucked. But
Did you see the trailer for the new TMNT beat 'em up?
I've seen like people talking about it.
What I like most about it is that each turtle has their own different run cycle.
Oh, nice.
So like that encapsulates their characters so succinctly that like I'm just waiting for the energy of the game and the combos to be different too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But what I don't particularly enjoy is that there's a grapple system that comes out kind of like Streets of Rage 4, where you grab somebody when you're close to them. Whereas
Ooh.
every TMNT beat 'em up game I've ever played
Yeah.
has been instant grab and throw away in like the first frame. When you're stuck holding somebody, you're gonna get hit, and I hate that part.
Ugh.
So
Well,
it's all whiny nitpicks.
yeah. I'm not very good at beat 'em ups anyway, so I probably would not play.
Well, it's a 4 player. It's made in the same vein as Turtles in Time.
Yeah, no, I'm still not
I
good at
imagine
it.
they got a free play. I mean, there's always free play.
Yeah.
Hell, Power Rangers had a really solid one for it was like chibi mode.
Like I still haven't finished the Scott Pilgrim game, even though I told my wife I was gonna love that game because it's a Scott Pilgrim game, and she got it for me because I said I would love it. And you know what? I forgot I'm bad at beat 'em ups yet again, and I don't love it.
If you want, there's a code you can enter to give you the Sword of Love,
Oh,
so that way you can get through the game easier. If you just want to get through the game,
yeah,
it won't
I might look.
it won't chart your achievements, but it's a good way to just get through it if you're having trouble with it. Because it plays like River City Ransom, so you need to bolster your stats and train yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten stuff from Wallace's shop.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't get more stuff from Wallace's shop. I'm at that point, so I'm just not good at beat 'em ups. That's the thing. That's the thing.
I get you.
So yeah. So how about wrestling?
How about it?
Goodness.
Gotta say, hate that NXT has a women's tag titles now.
Do they?
Yeah, they do. Because of the title match between Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, and Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez had such a screwy finish. William Regal decided to just make up women's tag titles for those two aforementioned girls from NXT, and then they immediately had a title fight like that evening against Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart, who is my favorite. She comes in on a little mini tank. She's adorable. But yeah, so they had a title fight and then the new champions lost the title. So now there's new champions, and
so wait.
There's a reign that only lasted about an hour.
So they made impromptu titles, put them on people, and then have those people immediately lose.
I would say immediately is being generous. Like an hour.
That's immediately.
Oh yeah.
Basic.
That's a Lex Luger level of immediate.
Yeah. And people wonder why I don't like WWE. Like,
well, that's not
WWE? That's a WWE thing to do. That is totally.
Well, that's not a Vince McMahon decision, though.
Okay. People say that to me about NXT, but Vince McMahon has final say on everything that goes on in his company, regardless of what brand it's under, and you know it. Come on.
I would dispute that, but I understand it's like talking. Like, I'm not going to talk you into watching NXT.
No, there's no.
Anything I say.
One, I don't want to support Vince McMahon at all.
Of course.
That's my thing. I like the wrestling and the storylines can be fantastic. I still would not watch it because it puts money in that shitbag's pockets. So
that's fair.
And let me be honest. Let me be very clear. If something comes out where it turns out that Tony Khan is an absolute fucking monster, guess what? I won't be watching anymore. AEW. Boom. I'll just do indies. So long as Joey Ryan's not involved, I think I'll be safe.
True.
Just gonna watch whatever Effie produces and be happy.
Oh, did you see him turn on join and then immediately turn on 44-0 this weekend?
I did not. No.
Oh, it was interesting. It was the same. I think same weekend or like the week away from Warhorse losing his independent wrestling championship.
Yeah, I do know that Warhorse lost that this week on Saturday, and I was excited for that. I like Warhorse. I like Warhorse a lot. But I thought that was a good signal to Warhorse,
for upward mobility
for Warhorse coming to AEW, because somebody was like, "Well, Warhorse is like independent wrestling champion, so he's not coming to AEW so long as he's that." And then boom, immediately he drops it. He, one night before Revolution, I was like, "Yeah, it's happening," and then it didn't.
He was stuck in the airport.
I worked myself. That's
you worked yourself into a shoot.
You never do that.
No, you don't work yourself into a shoot.
So we got Ethan Page, which is fine. I like Ethan Page. I'm just
As
saying.
long as we're not ripping hearts out of people's chests, we're all solid.
So, yeah, as long as we don't get like the Karate Man on AEW, I think we're cool. Um, but
I
like,
think he's a more of a straightforward heel in this aspect.
yeah. Um,
Hopefully, let's see how well he gets. How they book him.
I still need to rewatch that match he had last night because they put it on YouTube without the
Mm-hmm.
sound problem, which was weird.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I blame it on QT Marshall.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Oh man, I so mad, so mad at QT, so mad about Fuego del Sol. It was his time. Ugh.
He landed it. Okay, he's one step closer to success. He landed a tornado DT that shockingly Maki Ito can do on a whim. Like,
Well, it's Maki Ito.
I get it, but like, what's Fuego's problem?
Booking.
No, I think it's just like he wants to flourish. Like he wants it like from the top rope, like "Ooh, catch me," and like he telegraphs it too often. Hell, Shane McMahon does like the flip over DDT still to this day at 50, and that doesn't require no flourish and still considered a tornado DDT as far as like viewership is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's Fuego's problem?
Booking. Um. Well,
He
because
could land, he could land a DDT and in this situation like put way too much momentum and it flung QT Marshall out the ring. That and
man,
veteran awareness.
hate that. I hate that so much. It would have been better if Nick Camarado had gotten involved in somehow and cost uh, Fuego the match. That would have been better. I think better booking.
That's too much forethought for Dark.
Yeah.
Maybe on Elevation.
Well, no, Elevation's supposed to be like Dark, and then Dark is going to go back to how it used to be, where there were like storylines and stuff. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. I don't know how Elevation's going to look. I do know that Riho will be facing Maki Ito on Elevation as like the main event, so that'll be good.
I'm all here for that.
But I think that's Maki Ito's last match in AEW for a while. I think she went back to Japan. Sad.
Yeah, she's had a very busy week.
Yeah.
Yeah, she went through a tournament, hit the plane, flew into Jacksonville, and probably didn't even have like downtime, to do anything more than get dressed in a new outfit and then go out and wrestle.
Yeah,
Like
probably.
shout out to Maki Ito for like really like gritting her teeth and getting through this whole week. She deserves a nap.
Yes, absolutely. Um,
Okay, so I was wrong in my prediction that Sammy was working with MJF.
Oh yeah, everybody was. I mean, I wasn't because I knew that he didn't like MJF. Like, you don't pee on somebody's stuff if you like them.
I don't know. Sammy's a weird guy.
That's true.
Sammy's doing phone calls to Impact management, being like, "I don't like your story. Can I get the X Division title, please?"
I mean, he wanted to work in the X Division. I don't know that he wanted. I mean, part of it was he was going to get the X Division title. That was his part of his plan. But I don't know what Chris Jericho had set up, and I think, okay, so Sammy has worked independents and then AEW. That's the major promotion he's worked for. And AEW is like, hey, if you got ideas, bring them to us. We'll see what we can do if they work for what we're going for. Boom. And that's AEW's whole thing is like, if you know your character better than we do, you came up with it. So what do you want to do? And if we can make it work, we can make it work. And if it doesn't work, then we can do this instead, and I think we'll all still be happy. Whereas Impact, probably not even like close to that. They're like, hey, here's what you're doing. No, there's no wiggle room on this. This is just what's happening. And so
this is what fits because we got to book we got to tape like 5-6 weeks of television.
Yeah.
In this pocket of time that we have available. So, like, unless your story is like succinct and to the point, we're not booking it.
Yeah. So I get why Sammy would like come in and be like, hey, I don't like how this is going. I think this would be better for my character. Makes sense for him to do that. And it makes sense for Impact to be like, no. Like, I don't think
They're just
either side is wrong.
recent impacts, but like a professional impasse. They reached a like consensus where they're like, all right, well, this isn't working out for either of us, so
Yeah,
we'll just go with Black Taurus this weekend.
yeah. So
Wait,
that's
which you can't argue with.
no,
That's it worked out for Decay. Like Black Taurus really does fit the fucking scene he's in.
yeah.
Like
I don't know that Samuel was going to be working with Decay. I really hope not, because that is
there
not.
was a vacancy there. Like that's what he was like.
Yeah,
That's kind of like the peg hole they had. That's the square hole that they kind of had. Whoever's going to come in do.
he does not. He does. His whole aesthetic is not Decay.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work. So if that was what they were going to have him do, work with Decay, I could definitely see why he would be like, "Can I do this instead?"
Literally anything else?
Yeah, that's not me. So, yeah. So, what's your opinion on the exploding barbed wire death match? Did Moxley and Kingston save it last night with their promo?
Yes, I feel like both of them saved it. Like explaining away that it was Impact like Impact Money that was responsible for the ring development was probably the greatest development in that. Like it's like Kenny like Don Callis paid for the explosions. You really think it was gonna work out? Like that dude can't even get a stable right sometimes. Did you see old classic WWF? Like Kicking Wing is all elite. That was my favorite tweet.
Nice.
But yeah, like I feel like they explained everything away in a succinct way that we can just kindly put it back behind us, and they'll probably do something really dazzling later on.
Yeah.
I just don't know where they want to go with Christian being involved now. So I don't want him hot-shotted to get the title. That'd be
He's
insulting.
not gonna get the title. I don't know
No,
why everybody thinks.
but I don't mean giving him the title. What I mean is giving him the opportunity for a title when like all these other great stars exist.
Oh, I mean, he'll probably wrestle Kenny for the title. He's just not gonna win it. Like,
Well, it'd be a great match on
on paper.
like on Dynamite.
Yeah.
Like it'd be a great match, and like, but I would rather like see how Christian gels with the roster first. So let's have like a title eliminator kind of thing going.
Another elimination tournament?
No, or some other way in which to get a decent contender coming up rather than just throwing people at them.
Here's how AEW does who gets next title shots. Either they do an eliminator tournament or they do a battle royale, and they've kind of like done both recently. So I don't know what else to do. I mean, they could always follow who's the number one contender, like via
or top number one in the ratings.
Yeah, via the win loss record. That's fine, but
it'd probably be Lance Archer.
Yeah, probably. I would. I'm ready to see Lance Archer as the TNT champ. Honestly, I think that'd be fun.
That'd be fun. But it seems like Scorpio Sky's busy trying to get that one.
Yeah, but he lost.
I know, but
which
I don't think he's done.
Exactly what I said. I said Scorpio Sky should not be going after the TNT title if he's just going to lose it to if he's just going to lose. Because we want to see Scorpio Sky win because we feel that he's been underutilized.
Well, that's why you chose Penta.
That's why I chose Penta. Exactly. Although Penta's going to destroy Cody next week. It's going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
Or at least he better.
Well, welcome to the paternal leave.
Welcome to paternal leave. I'm actually really proud of myself.
I thought John was going to take off for paternal leave with the explosion.
If that explosion had gone right,
that explosion had gone right, we wouldn't be talking about John Moxley in the present tense. No. We'd be talking in the past tense. He'd be vaporized.
Which is why the next match that Kenny Omega and John Moxley have, if they want to write John Moxley off TV, continually going after Kenny Omega, because Kenny Omega didn't quote unquote kill him and stop him. What they need to do next is do an Iron Maiden coffin match.
Oh boy.
Just
I
fill
want
it.
whoever loses to go out and drink like a glass of water, and then all the water comes out of the holes in their body, like some kind of cartoon.
Yeah, no. I was thinking like it could be like multiple coffins set up around the ring, filled with barbed wire on both sides, and then somebody goes in, the coffin gets shut, boom, fake blood everywhere. And nobody opens the coffin. Like, oh no, that would be too gruesome to show. And that's how it goes off. And boom, you've written somebody off TV.
Forever.
Well, no, people came back in Lucha Underground all the time.
But Lucha Underground also had like confirmed supernatural entities.
AEW has confirmed supernatural entities.
Abaddon doesn't count.
They got Abaddon, boom, right there, and Matt Hardy is still a supernatural entity. He's just in the wrong persona right now for it.
It does not count. They're gonna carry what? They're gonna carry that coffin into the in the waters of the resurrection.
Yeah.
No.
Do it.
No. You gotta explain why you're carrying an iron coffin across state lines.
Be like,
No, not everything
wrestling.
is Power Rangers.
It's for wrestling. You just say it's for wrestling. Boom. Easy.
No.
Easy. Great match. My idea.
No.
Tony Khan, book it.
Book it. Book it, Dano.
But yeah. All in all, though, I think wrestling was fantastic this week.
Mm-hmm.
Last night's Dynamite had like such a really fucking chaotic energy to it.
Oh yeah, and MJF's new stables. Like, oh wait, I think we need to address something.
Okay.
I think there's too many stables in AEW.
Or
getting kind of heel heavy.
I think there's too many heel stables.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be some. The only
Inner Circle going face would be weird.
They're not face.
Oh yeah,
I really. People like, oh no, they got the baby face beat down. Well, guess what? It can happen to heels. They can still be heels. Two heels can fight. It's allowed. Two faces can fight. It's allowed. It has to be a face and it has to be a heel dynamic thing. Super weird. I don't know when we got to that in wrestling, because when I was a kid, everybody just wrestled everybody. Sure, there were heels and there were faces, but you didn't be like, classic Hulk Hogan can't take on the Ultimate Warrior because they're both faces. No. In real life, they're both heels. But the point is...
unrelated.
Unrelated. They could wrestle each other as faces for titles and stuff. Because why would you care if you're a wrestler and you're a face? Why would you care if the champion is a face? You still want the title.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think it's weird that there seems to be this dynamic. The only current face group is Dark Order. Dark Order has been kind of face. They haven't done anything heelish in a while. So
I see them basically being considered faces, especially since they're going into an issue with Matt Hardy currently.
Yeah, Matt Hardy has his own heel faction.
Which is money based, so it's not like it doesn't have the longevity that it would be suggested in other
Kingston's
stables.
Family is over. That's done.
Oh yeah,
because Eddie Kingston's face now. So we have 3 heel groups basically, and 1.5 face groups. Because it depends on how you view the Nightmare Family. If they're an actual like distinct unit, or if they're just like a collection of people doing their own thing.
Or a job squad.
Or their QT Marshall spitting on Dustin Rhodes. Which
Inner turmoil. Weird.
Spits on Dustin Rhodes, wins his match against Fuego del Sol. It was... I'm so angry about that. They used
Get their wits about you. It's fine.
They used Fuego's kid to like build up this match. You can't. That sucks. You can't do that to me. Fuego's kid comes out in a little Fuego del Sol match. It's like, go win, daddy, and then you're gonna have to lose. Fuck.
Stop watching that show. Like, don't let it affect you. It's gonna sway your opinion. You're gonna be like, oh, that kid says I'm cute. Now he's gonna be like coming home disappointed.
Yeah, that kid's
Ooh, hiss.
like that kid's gonna be super disappointed. Don't like it. I blame
you.
Suit Cody.
You blame Cody?
Suit Cody put out a tweet before the match that Fuego del Sol sucks, and then he lost. I'm just saying.
All right. Well, I guess we have business.
Yeah, we do.
This episode is
the Power
This
Rangers.
episode's a doozy.
Oh my god.
So let me preface this conversation by stating, this is not a. This is actually the first sequence break between Wild Force and Gaoranger. Episode 6 in Gaoranger is not episode 6 in Wild Force. It's episode 20.
What? Okay, well, this is such a weird episode.
Oh yeah, but episode 20 means that there was a lot of plot. Not a lot of plot references to the last 19 episodes, but I will mention that Merrick is 100% like given his own thing to do away from the Rangers because there's no footage of the Silver Ranger anywhere in episode 6 of Gaoranger.
Oh, no,
so he's just off footing around in his own plot, and they filmed so much original footage for this episode in Wild Force. I don't even know why they even kept the wedding dress org or had the things go on, but we weren't going to see Danny in a dress for sure, and that's a disappointment because I think Danny's shoulders are perfect for a dress. I'm just saying, like, I'd wifey Danny down, but that's not the point here. I guess we're talking about Gaoranger.
We're talking about Gaoranger. The point is, this episode, so just like I had like bad feelings the whole time watching this episode. It was uncomfy start to finish. I was like,
certainly,
this sucks. And why is Gaoblack in a dress? What was the point? There is no point where they there's no point where they explain why they put him in a dress. I don't.
Doing sumo moves.
Doing sumo. This episode's a mess. It's called Bison in Love, and I can't. Okay, we'll get to it. We open on the Animal Island place, Gao Island, whatever it's called. Fuck. And all the power animals are all the Gao animals are just happy that Gao Elephant's back. They're like, this is fucking awesome.
What's up, my dude? I'm fine. Like, just chilling.
But the narrator lets us know that this makes a certain someone even angrier than usual. And we cut over to Shootin', who's like shooting lightning and screaming. He's like, I must finish the Gaorangers. No! This is the only part of the episode he will be in.
Shootin' is not having a great day. It is not his day.
Nope. Yabaiba and Sui Sui say, oh no, Master Shootin' is angry as always. We gotta do something. We cut over to Diane City. That's probably not how that's pronounced.
I'll let her hang.
Yeah. And we're being told that the city enjoys a peaceful afternoon. Ladies are sitting around enjoying their lunch around like a statue in a park. And this is when we see like the wedding dress org, which is like, I hate this org so much. It doesn't look good. And
it's not a good look.
It gives me weird vibes. It gives me like weird, what are you saying with this org vibes?
What are you trying to do here?
Yeah.
Like,
don't like.
What was the concept here? Explain yourself, Sentai.
But the org shows up. This lady passes out, and it just picks her up and goes, "All right, you're mine." It runs away.
Score and just flits off.
Yep. Immediately, the Rangers block its path. They're like, "Hey, we found you. You're not going to get away from us." And the Ranger Sword is like, oh, what the fuck are you guys doing here again? I'm out of here. And it runs away. And then the Rangers chase after it. And we get a little chase sequence. It gets a little Scooby-Doo here at the end.
Yeah, it does get quite kind of Scooby-Doo here.
Because they run into a building, and then they run down a hallway, and even though the Rangers show up like a literal second after the org has run to the end of this hallway, they can't tell where it's gone. They don't see...
I'm just gonna go ahead and state that if the Gaorangers were able to chase after, like, you know, things moving at like motor speed, like with horsepower, like, you're gonna tell me they can't chase down this one, this one orb through hallways? Are you kidding me?
Apparently not.
Like, crawl, like crawling did you guys so much wonders, and you can easily turn.
Do your animal runs. Apparently that's faster. Gao Blue, why aren't you swimming through the air?
Yeah, get those arms rowing.
But they run down this hallway, or they turn towards this hallway the Ranger Org has run down, and they are greeted by exactly 5 doors. This hallway ends at a door. So, and like, I don't understand. Anyway, so they're like, where did he go?
There's only 5 doors in which we can enter.
Yeah, there's only 5 doors, and there's 5 of us. Let's each take a door. Let's all split up. Forgetting the lessons of everybody work together from episode 2, they're going to split up now. Gaoblack, we get the title card of a Bison in love. Gaoblack busts in on a bride in a wedding dress and a wedding planner, and the bride's like, "What the fuck? What's going on here?" The wedding planner says, "Are you a groom from another party? Your room is across the hall. What are you doing in here?" But she also makes mention that his horns are super distinguished. They're like impressive. You're such a fine groom, she says. Gaoblack is just tripping over his fucking words here.
Tripping over his words and tripping over over so much, like his outfit's tightening. Yeah. Like,
Gaoblack pops a boner.
That's in my notes somewhere for sure.
For this wedding planner, he's like, yeah, this wedding planner, like, and from what I understand, like, maybe they've seen her multiple times because they always chase this org to this exact wedding hall and always lose it. So maybe they've
it's
seen
just
her
kind of weird,
times, but the setup feels like, to me, it's
weird because like you never really get an aspect that like if like that these Rangers are like going around and like actively fighting crime and, like, you know, defending the world against orcs on a basis which it doesn't show up, immediately kill orc and leave. Right. Like, you would think that would be the case if like the Duke orcs don't find that orc in time or something like that. You would think the Rangers would easily like slay these guys, but alas, we just don't have that aspect of like the show at all.
No, not at all.
Which doesn't help us, because we would love to just like assume that these guys, like, this is like the 4th time they run into this motherfucker, and like they're like, we just can't catch him. He keeps eluding us. But like, you can't tell me that when, like, every time we meet these new orcs, it's one fight, one hitter quitter. We're off the seat of credits. Mm. Like, what is he doing that escapes him so well in a room you are pretty much like, you know full well the layout of the area because you keep running into that area. Like, it's like you could cover all the exits of that building. It is. What?
I said, yeah.
It just shows them how inept they are.
Yep. The thing that's weird about this for me is, like, maybe, like I said, maybe they've met this woman multiple times, but it's framed in such a way like Gaoblack is seeing her for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
And he's instantly smitten. Like, that's... I don't necessarily believe in love at first sight, personally, but...
Mm-hmm.
The narrator says to us, a little drama is about to happen to the kind black warrior.
Thank you, announcer guy.
Thanks.
I,
Thanks.
I couldn't use my eyeballs.
That's when the manager for the wedding hall busts in. He's like, "What's going on here? Who are you?" He's like, "What the fuck's up with these horns? They're intimidating. You must hide them at the wedding," which just shows me that everybody in this universe is dumb as brats.
Oh, I forgot to mention the wedding planner. She is played by a former Sentai actress.
Oh, really?
She was yeah, she was in Jetman.
Oh, cool.
But yep, about I think 6 seasons prior.
Very cool.
So, I looked that up. Go ahead, you can continue.
Go ahead. The wedding planner says, "Hey, don't let at him. He's fine." Gaoblack does get pushed out of the room, as all the other rangers get pushed out of all their rooms that they went into.
Like, they didn't find the one room they're invited in, like, or like someone's like rationalized, like, this is like the 5th time a city like, all right, you gotta think that this is the 5th giant monster. Like, all right, so this is the 6th monster sighting that we know of. Like, this region in which they defend, like, has to have some news system that tells them that these, like, primary colored rangers come and save the day from these giant orcs.
Yeah.
So, like, you would think that they would know what a ranger looks like, and he's not a fucking groomsman. Like, cut the shit. Help them out. Be like, "Oh, I saw this. Like, did you see a giant monster?" And they'd be like, "Yeah, no, I didn't see one. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I think he's down the hall." And at least, like, without the wedding confusion. But alas, here we are, like, in a world where these guys don't even really understand how, like, giant monsters have been attacking their region for like a few weeks now. Like, you tell me that they can see the giant monsters from their fucking buildings? Like, what the Rangers look like.
Yeah, but gravity falls into place, that law into place that affects everybody. That we don't talk about none of that.
I'm not crossing that bridge. I'm not talking. That's bait. I'm not giving you more. I'm not giving you more conversation points for your podcast. I'm on one podcast.
One podcast. Look, being on one podcast is hard enough. Oh, wow. I'm looking at the wrong screen. Here we go. So anyway, Rangers pushed out. Everybody's dumb. Because no, I don't, so we understand that the wedding dress org turns into a wedding dress, but like, at what point? Like, they ran into these 5 rooms full of people. Why didn't one of these, did the wedding dress org run in, immediately turn into a dress? And what happens to the passed out woman here? They're just like, "Oh, this woman's on the ground." This makes no sense to me that he can keep getting away like this.
Or scurrying to the basement of the place.
Yeah. The Rangers get kicked out of the wedding hall. That's where we're going. Sorry.
Yep.
We go back to Gaoranger, and Gaoblack's like, "We always lose that org at the wedding hall. What the fuck's going on?"
We're failing our vibe checks.
Gaoblack is just like fucking dazed as fuck. He is on some shit. Gaored is like, "Hey, Black, you only saw the bride in that room, right?" And he's just like, they're like, "Hey, come the fuck on." He's just thinking about that wedding plan. He's like, "Oh,
you're on the clock."
There is somebody else, my dream girl. And they're like, "What the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about, dude?" Cow Yellow's like, "Fuck, this is dumb." Tachimo, did you find anything else about
Cow Yellow is 100% checked out of this one.
He is.
He's like, "I ain't giving you nothing today."
Nothing. He's like, "Did you find any more power animals?" Tachimo says, "Yeah, there are at least 3 more power animals. A raging bear means a violent bear." Thank you. Thanks. That's great.
You really parted my confusion. I really appreciate it. You really helped me out here. All right, is it too late to find a new priestess? There has to be somebody else in their water.
Gal Yellow repeats, a violent bear. And Tetamu's like, I don't know. So she's like, well, I'll look into it. Picks up the scroll board and jumps right into the pool water. So Gaored's like, okay, well, no progress. What are you going to do? It's like, I wish we could just find them faster. Tetsumu jumps back out and she's like, hey, keep looking for that org. There's still evil energy at the wedding hall. So just, go do that. And apparently this is the first time that Tetamu's told them that there's evil energy at the wedding hall. Because Gao Yellow says, why didn't you tell us this sooner? Like, you keep losing him at the wedding hall. What? Everybody's dumb. Everybody's dumb. But Tetsumu doesn't answer that question. She just jumps back into the pool of water like, fuck you.
Look, no, I said what I wanted to.
I said what I said. So Gaored says, okay, we're going to search that place from top to bottom. Gaoblack's like, yeah, we're totally going to fucking do that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, my mind's totally on this. Let's go. Ready to help.
Gal White says, look, if we walk in there like before, that scary manager is just going to kick us out. You're rangers. I know you just fight orgs, but this guy is in his mid-30s running a reception hall. I think you can take him.
No, they decidedly take him. Like, Cal Yellow bodies the fuck out of him, and he wants to be cartoonishly injured. But it was just a judo throw. It's not like he just like ground and pound this man.
But anyway, so they come up with a plan. We cut over to the Diane wedding hall. I don't know what the name of the city is. It's
Diane.
It's what?
Diane. Use your vowel. It's vowel pairs, so it's Diane.
Diane. Okay. We cut to the basement of this place where that lady that got kidnapped is now waking up. And she screams. Of course, she's like, what the... Well, she doesn't scream. She just is very concerned. And we see the wedding dress org. Like, hey, if I steal your life energy from your body, then you stay young forever, basically. I turn you into a statue. You never grow older. And I've taken your life energy. This is my thing.
This is what I do.
Yeah.
It's my
He
thing.
also has like 3 horns. Which, from my understanding, one horn, the strongest, right?
I believe the number of horns denotes your status.
Right. So, all the other orgs before this have had like 2 horns. This one has 3, which means it has to be a step down from the other orgs we've seen before. And I feel like the Rangers should be able to take it.
Oh yeah,
like right away.
Absolutely.
I'm just nitpicking. But the wedding dress org turns around to talk to somebody entering the basement, and he says, "This is all thanks to your help. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about the promise I made you." We don't see who it is, but when I was watching this the first time, I was like, okay, either the manager is the org or the wedding planner is the org transforming, and I don't like either of that, to be honest. And I was wrong. It's neither of them, but one of them is helping. We'll talk about that. We cut to the main hall of this place. The Gaorangers walk in their jeans and their cool ranger jackets. I mean, they're just street clothes. And
they're just coming in with their vests in.
Yeah.
You see that vest, you should think, oh, that is a professional who is looking for answers. I should help them. Especially since some of their symbols match the Rangers that have been fighting good in our city. So I should go and help.
Well, the Rangers have been fighting in other cities.
I meant, in their region,
Yeah.
if a hero is saving the day in the Bronx, for example, that's also a hero that's fighting in New York City, but by extension of it only being so many blocks and miles of distance.
Nobody in the Bronx or in Manhattan gives a shit about a kid from Queens dressing like a spider.
They do, though.
They don't, though.
They don't. They do, though.
I mean, much later.
I mean, it's not that far of a distance. Like,
Look, I mean,
Luke Cage could theoretically call Spider-Man and get help within an hour.
an hour, Jesus.
Within. I mean, depends on what Spidey was doing that day.
True. I don't know. When I talk to people from New York, if you like, just like, if you compare like the regions like close to each other, they lose their shit with me. So
I'm from New York.
I know you are.
And I'm telling you that, like if somebody needed me in the Bronx, I'd be like, all right, that's an hour and a half using the subway, because there's transfers. And, you can't get everything happening in a succinct amount of time. Like, whenever I had to work in the Bronx, I knew it was going to be an hour and a half transit.
Well, there you go.
Well, that's subway stuff, but we're talking about transit via like web lines and such, which is an entirely different, like MPH. And throughways, so you can go straight diagonal in cases where like path. All right, going too much into this.
Yeah, we're off topic. Anyway, in their street clothes, a pro of nothing, they walk past the manager who just gives them like a polite wave. They watch the manager. Yeah.
Apropos, right? That's the word you were using.
Apropos.
Okay.
Whatever. Now I'm worried I mispronounced it. Damn it. Anyway. He walks past them, they watch him walk away, and they all do a in sync, yeah, fist pump, which is not at all suspicious.
No.
Somebody watches them do this, and they just don't say anything.
White is sus. Red is sus.
They're all
black is sus.
They dress in fancier, like, adult clothing. Like suits, ties, which why didn't they enter?
The former veterinarian should have worn by default. But...
yeah, why didn't they enter this way? I don't. Anyway, Gaoblack and Gao White are just like looking around, and that's when they spot a bride and who else? That wedding manager, and Gaoblack's just like, oh. He just like stares. It's very embarrassing. He walks into somebody carrying a vase of flowers. They drop it. It breaks. The manager runs up out of nowhere. He's like, hey, what the fuck? Are you new here? Okay, you're fired now. Good job. Only for the wedding planner to go, hey, wait, hold on. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. He's like, yeah, you do that. And so she asked Gal White to take the groom to the wedding hall. And Gaoblack's like, oh man, what should I do? I just got fired. And she's like, no, don't worry, I'll explain it to him. Mr. Yajima just sounds scary, but he's actually really, really reasonable. And Gaoblack's like, yeah. Just like fucking dork. Meanwhile, Gao Yellow and Gao Red are at the main reception hall, looking under tables, being like super fucking suspicious. And they're just going about their business. They're just like, okay, whatever. I got napkins to set up.
Wild Force skips all this. We don't even have this happen. What they do is they have two originally filmed sequences. One where Danny is fight. All right, so you can replace the wedding planner with Kendall. The whole plot is about that girl from like the Wild Force episode I was talking about before, right. with Danny and Max. And Max was like, "Oh, he's talking about that girl. I gotta go do that temple thing." Yeah, the same girl returns. This time she's being courted by this rich dude, and Danny's all concerned about making sure that she stays out of the chapel hall because she's like doing the flowering arrangements for the hall. But he's also trying to protect her because he loves Kendall.
Right.
But while having a fight at the reception hall, she and the dude that's heading her up, see Danny morph, and Kendall's all about that. Like, oh, I know what I know what you do for us, and I really appreciate it. I'm like, you're fighting the good fight. Thank you. Meanwhile, the dude is like, you shouldn't be in her life Black Ranger. Like,
Okay.
really condescending, throws his money around. Like, he's very materialistic,
Right.
and like he's trying to like have a life with Kendall the same way that Danny wants to, but Danny knows his responsibility is elsewhere.
Mm-mm.
So he's all downtrodden about the fact that he's trying to save Kendall and everything, and like he can't get the love he's looking for. So he's like forlornly, like forlorn and like and having difficulty fighting Orgettes while everybody else is fighting in the background.
Uh-huh.
And like Maxis is like, "Yo, get your shit together, dude. We got a whole fighting thing we got to do." And he's like, "Oh, right."
Right.
So, but when Kendall tells him that, like, I know your secret and thank you for your fight, he's like invigorated. He's like, "Yeah, my love notices me," and he's just super strong, and he's just like taking all the good stuff. He's taking out 3 Orgettes with 1 roundhouse kick. Like, all it takes is just like the affirmation boner to just like destroy an orc in one like with 1 ranger. He could just take care of the whole plot by himself if he just has someone to affirm his affections for him.
Right.
And I was just like, they filmed this. They actually bought all the costumes, got everybody all dressed up, went to the emptied out a hall for a fighting scene. They did all this. How much money did they spend for this? Like, they could have just used the footage. Like, it wasn't that suspect. Like, I mean, I'm not saying put Danny in a dress, but like, we didn't need all this. This is too much. The whole episode is too much.
It's excessive. So Gal Yellow asks Gal Red, "Hey, anything going on?" And Gal Red says, "Nothing unusual so far." You know what's unusual? 2 weird dudes turning up all the tables looking for something. Anyway, Yellow says, "How does an orc hide in here without going noticed? This is weird."
It's almost like the guy we called him the wedding dress org.
They haven't actually called him that yet.
Well, I mean, I guess they didn't see him as his ability to transform, so they don't have the ability to discern that. But going forward, they should know that if their org looks like something, best to look for that thing. So don't trust any wedding dress you see.
Right. We watch Gaoblack looking around. She's like, "Strange. This orc should sit out like a sore thumb." Oh no, this is Red again. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But he comes across the manager of the building. It's like, "Hey, listen, there's a reception at 3:00. He's talking to somebody on like a phone. He's like, "Don't let anyone notice you, okay?"
And then
especially
attack
our
the target.
targets, the bride. He ends the phone call. He's like, "I'll signal you with this mic when you try to execute the plan at the exact moment, okay?" Galrod's like, "Oh shit, this is the dude," and he runs off. He's like, and he goes to the rest of the Rangers. And he's like, "Hey, the manager. It's the manager." And they're like,
Manager
"Really?
sucks.
The manager?" To which Galblu's like, "Oh man, you mean that mean guy? Yeah, that dude sucks. I don't like him."
Fuck him.
Gaoblack's like, "Yeah, Mr. Yajima, I don't like him at all. Probably because he fired you, man."
Fired you from a job you didn't even have.
Yeah.
You shouldn't even get heard about it.
Galred says he's playing something at the reception. And they're like, "Is he the org?" And Gal White says he might have sold his soul to the org, which is something apparently you can do.
I don't think they have any confirmed cases of that. They've been active for a whole year.
Yeah. They're like, okay, but anyway, let's sneak in. And as they're about to go over the plan, the wedding planner like runs up and is like, "Hey, excuse me." Gaoblack is of course smitten, and he's like, "Will you help me dress the bride?" And Gal White runs. She's like, "Yeah, I'll do it," because man's not gonna go dress a bride.
Yeah.
She picks up this very lavish purple dress, which I don't maybe understand how wedding halls work in Japan, but
I have no frame of reference myself.
I know how my wedding worked, and that is months and months and months before the wedding, like almost a whole year out, I went and I purchased a wedding dress. And I knew what my wedding dress looked like, and like I saw my wedding dress, and because I picked it out. Duh.
Mhm.
So does this mean that this woman, because I can only assume based on my wedding that brides get to see and pick their wedding dresses like months out before the actual event. And so, because later we'll find out that this dress that they're putting on this bride is the org itself. And to me, it's like, does she have a wedding dress that looks exactly like this org? Is this some kind of a building where you do like an impromptu sort of wedding? Like you plan it, but you have to use whatever dresses and props that they have on site for your thing. How does this work? Because if you bring me a dress that's not my dress that I picked out for my wedding, I'm going to ask what the fuck is wrong with you. I'm going to be very upset.
The fuck you think you're doing? This
What are you
isn't the
just
dress I
doing?
picked out.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm thinking about a kids show way too hard. That's what's going on here. Anyway, Gal White picks up the wedding dress. She's like, "Wow, this is a beautiful dress." They're like, "Yeah, right." And they dress the bride in it, who just altogether gets in it super happily. Like, so I don't know. I don't know how this works. Um, they zip her up, and the wedding planner starts asking about Gaoblack. And she's like, he seems nice, you know? And like, yeah, he's a little slow and big, but he's kind. You can always depend on somebody tough like that, says the wedding manager. They're really just chatting him up. Gal White calls him Gaoblack. You would think they'd have code names of some kind where they're doing reconnaissance work. Or just use their actual names.
They don't know those.
It's just like... She's like, you mean Gaoblack? She's like, oh, Gaosan. Like, they're all Gaosan.
They're all Gaosan.
We cut over...
I don't think we can go through the subtitles on this one.
Yeah.
I don't know how he referred to Gaoblack, but I'm pretty sure they didn't say
They said...
Gaokuro.
They did.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That hurts. That hurts. It hurts my logic. I'm quite
and
done.
she does say Gaosan in like in response. So yeah. We cut over to the reception. Hey, what's happening?
Hey.
Big cake. The wedding planner. I'm sorry. The wedding manager guy is being suspicious.
Sus fuck.
And Galred says, "Hey, if anything happens, grab Yajima." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it." The lights dim, and an announcer says, "Please welcome the bride and groom." And we see a groom and the woman walk in this purple dress that we saw earlier. Gal White is holding her train. It's very cool. It's nice. Like, it is. I like this dress. Like, if I'm being honest, it's a little too much ruffle for me, personally, but, you know, not a bad dress.
Not a frame of reference, so your opinion will remain yours, and mine will be invalid.
That's fine. Like I said, I've done the wedding thing. It's a ball gown, by the way. Not that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But everybody's just like, you know, clapping for the bride and groom. We get some camera cuts to between Yajima and Gal Yellow, who's like fucking mad dogging him. That's not suspicious.
Nope.
Yajima grabs his little microphone. He says, "Now," and a bright light shines on a stage in the corner that starts lowering down from the ceiling, and something under a sheet that looks suspiciously like a horned creature is wiggling around under that sheet. Immediately, the Ranger's like, "Oh shit, that's the org. It's got to be the org, because what else could it be?" Gal Red runs out and says, "Hey, watch out! Everybody, get down!" And everybody, you know, gets down. Yajima's about to like run out and be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" But Gal Yellow grabs him, tosses him to the ground, and he's like, "What are you doing?" Gal Yellow says, "You're with the org. I know it." Gal Red's like, "Come on out, org." Nobody moves from under the sheet. He runs over, grabs the sheet. It's a child. It's a child in an angel costume with the halo. And immediately the child just hands Galred a bouquet of flowers and says, "Congratulations!" And everyone's like, "What the fuck's going on?" And Yajima's like, "What were you thinking? This is our brand new angel service I was talking to the crew about." Like, and like, what?
But use the term target. Use the suspect term.
And everyone's like, "Oh, geez, I'm
You can
sorry."
imagine a misconception was going to occur.
Yeah. We're like, "Oh my
But
gosh, we're so
but,
sorry."
but we're a judo flip away from like a judo throw beyond that. Like we're now at like, oh crap, we just blew our cover.
We just blew our cover. Um, the wedding manager, I'm sorry, not the wedding, the manager of the building says to the bride and groom, "Hey, my sincerest apologies. Let's just start over. Let's pretend like you didn't see that, and we'll just do it again."
This is how you get a bridezilla.
I just want to point out that earlier Gaoblack bumped into somebody, causing a flower vase to break, and he immediately went to like a rage mode, like fire this motherfucker. These rangers have ruined this entire ceremony, and instead of being like, "Get the fuck out of my wedding hall," he's like, "Wait, okay, let's just start over and do it all over again. It's fine." Like, I need him to pick a level and be there.
Just stick them to a lane.
Yeah.
You were mad. You were about to fire a dude you didn't know.
Over
You
some
didn't even
flowers.
check your like. You didn't even check your like your work records to determine whether this person has like is actually employed by you yet. Like, who are you? Get him! Get out! You're fired. Like, he has like J. Jonah Jameson levels of like awareness of like occupation around him. Like,
Yeah.
do you work for me? No. Oh, do you? Do you work for me? Yes. You're fired. Or Mr. Krabs level of occupational awareness.
Right.
I don't even work here.
So right.
Oh, you get a new job starting now.
Now you're fired.
Hey, now you're fired. Aww.
So he says, "Let's start over," and the bride goes fucking nuts. Starts beating him up, flips him through a table, and the ranger's like, "What the fuck?" The groom's like, "What's gotten into you?" And she immediately grabs his throat and beats his ass too. We see eyes pop out of this dress, and this bride just started doing a bunch of flips, and she's like, "Oh no, I can't control it." And the ranger's like, "Oh, it's the wedding dress that's the org."
So, you have experience in watching something where a dress is active and is able to manipulate the movements of whoever's wearing it. How? Why? No. There's no way that this dress is able to manipulate a body that weighs more than it, even if it's like a more denser object, because it's an org. It's taking the form of a dress.
Well,
so it should be a super dense dress. But that's besides the point.
You see, when life fibers connect to a human body.
Oh yeah. But like in the case of like the dress the outfit that Sasuke wears, and how she had to subjugate its will.
Yeah.
Like, but if it was like
same principle.
like the covers, like that was a full on possession, but like it made a body around that human. Like,
yeah,
it didn't. This is a dress with like very low coverage, so it's not just like there's. I don't think a cloth will allow a woman to move the way that this woman moves without severe bodily damage, because there's such thing as inertia, and she had it before that dress occurred. As I started moving, it's just a lot.
There are people like it depends. Okay, this point I'm about to make, it all depends on how much you believe in hypnotism. I don't know that it's real or not, but there are people like who get quote unquote hypnotized, and the hypnotist is like, "All right, now do a flip," and then they do a flip, even though they look like somebody who cannot do a flip. So sometimes the motor functions of the body, if the body just did what it wanted to do, could do things that maybe we don't think it could. I definitely believe that's the case. For example, our body restricts our muscle movements like automatically, so that we're not like tearing our own arms out of sockets, just like trying to like move around, because there's a lot of force behind the way our muscles are built.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why zombies are scary, because like they seem to be like they get so much stronger, is because they don't have like those like things holding them back.
Right, but like,
So my point is, like, I think if I have to like make it make sense, the org is connecting to the body in that manner, that it's like shutting down those practices to get like the true movements of the human body. Does that make sense?
kind of.
Yeah, I try my best.
I see where you're coming from. All right, we need to continue.
So we cut over to a different place, and Gal Blue is walking down a bride who turns out to be Gaoblack, which is like, why? I don't like this. Like, it makes no sense for this to like be going on. Anyway, the wedding dress org is running this bride just like crazy, and because Gaoblack is like, oh, stop right there, and both the Rangers get electrocuted. Gaoblack gets swooped up because he's dressed as a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, Blue, what's going on? Because the Rangers run up. And they're like, the wedding dress org came through and kicked the shit out of us. We cut to commercial. We go back down to the basement.
Go! Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Commercial cut is
back to the basement, and Gaoblack is waking up in the basement. He's hurt because, you know, electricity hurts. So,
it does not tickle.
Does not tickle. He's like, what the fuck's going on? The Rangers org is talking to somebody, like, you know, about, like, you have my, you know, my gratitude for all the hard work you're doing. The woman, who we know, we can tell already, is the wedding planner. It's like, you can keep your gratitude. What about the promise you made? He's like, fine, I'll fill this jewel with this bride's life energy, and I'll make you young again, just as promised. Yeah. The bride is talking, by the way.
Yeah, she's...
It's not the wedding dress org that's speaking. It's the bride talking. I understand that the org is using her body to speak. I just don't know why.
I mean, you have your own voice, but...
Whatever. The wedding planner is super excited. Gaoblack is like, what? Miss Shimada? No way.
Betrayal.
The wedding dress org pops off the bride and immediately turns her into a mannequin.
Convenient.
Very convenient. Once again, the wedding dress org goes over how they collect these figurines, and now you're going to get youth and beauty. And she's like, yeah, the secret to happiness is youth and beauty.
Just an evil chuckle.
Evil chuckle. The wedding dress org says, just keep helping me from now on. And she says, yeah, of course I will. Gaoblack says, no, I can't believe that. I can't believe you're helping the org. He goes to shake Miss Shimada and gets knocked away, only for his wig to fall up, and the wedding org is pissed. The wedding org is like, a man? I don't like men. Beats up Gaoblack immediately. Miss Shimada demands to be made young, and the wedding dress says, fine, here, I'll give you this life energy. And she starts turning younger. And younger. And younger. Oh, she's a baby now.
Oh. This is what happened in Dragon Ball GT, and nobody liked it.
Nobody liked it. Gaoblack is like, oh no, Miss Shimada. The waitress is like, oh, I guess I used maybe a bit too much energy. These things happen. Whatever. Gaoblack
there's no instruction manual of the sword.
Yeah. I don't know how to use this thing. The waitress org is like, hey, I want to steal your life energy too. Because Gaoblack is like, hey, you turned her back. And he's like, no, I'm just going to take your energy. Of course, it doesn't work on Gaoblack because I guess it just doesn't work on men.
It just does not, which is convenient.
Yeah, the wedding dress org says, you know what, fine, you can catch these hands. And proceeds to beat the shit out of Gaoblack again.
You say that, and there's a clip on my desktop of Braun Strowman. So like, yeah, you gonna get these hands.
Gaoblack screams, "Damn you!" and then assumes sumo poses.
Dos Koi!
Uh,
Just starts 100-hand slapping the wedding dress org.
Yep.
Like E Honda.
It's definitely like E Honda.
Dos Koi! Choco!
He also screams, "Never give up," because, you know.
Yeah, because continuity!
Continuity! He's one of the two that never give up.
Here's the two.
But he knocks the wedding dress org through a wall and out the building. And the Rangers come up like, "Oh, here you are. What's going on?" And they're like, "Oh, he was stealing life energy from all these women to make mannequins."
But wasn't this in the basement?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, what hole, what wall did he just break through? But whatever.
Whatever. It is what it is. Gaoranger is pissed. He's like, "Hey, this is a place where people come to fulfill their dreams. What you've done is unforgivable." And they're all gonna run up on this org and beat its ass without transforming, until Yabaiba and Sui Sui show up and like make some fireworks happen.
It looks like you need some organ assistance.
Like, you need some help. We'll lend you a hand, and then you can continue to steal life energy and collect figures wherever. And the Rangers order is like, "Oh yeah, I love that."
That sounds pretty solid. That sounds
Yeah.
like something I would do.
So the Orgets get summoned. The Rangers fight the Orgets. Lots of fighting, lots of punches. Orgets are not a threat.
Nope.
Gaoblack this whole time has been fighting in this wedding dress, which, good on him. They're not.
Shout out to the fabric.
They're not easy to move around in, to be honest.
Oh yeah, no. Shout out to the fabric for being able to stretch and do kicks and sumo like moves and everything. Like Gaoblack is like was born to wear this dress.
The Rangers transform. When the roar of life awakens the heart of the power animals, the power of nature and human hearts become one and create 5 warriors. This is what the announcer always tells us, but
And casually discards their clothing that they were wearing, including wedding dresses, into this hammer space portal that we'll never see that dress again.
Yep. Today's shout-outs start with the Iron Bison and end in the Blazing Lion.
So the Redhead's final word, that's how the Rangers are operating.
Yep.
You get the first because it's your episode, chump, but this is Gaoranger Show.
This is Gaoranger Show. Wherever there's life, there is a roar of justice. Haijuku Sentai Gaoranger.
Yakujuku.
The Rangers org calls them show-offs, and then immediately gets its shit rocked.
Show-offs? Like, you should have known that from just how much he was flossing in that dress. Like, shapely curves and everything.
Well, okay, I said he gets its ass beat, but it first blocks the first attack, forms fire on the end of its sword to slice with fire. And then
does an individual slash on everybody. And it seems more time consuming because like they even had like the effect where he blacks out the background and cuts them. Like when you would think that like after the third person is slashed, the other two would be like, maybe I should dodge, or I don't know, block with one of the weapons I own. Oh no, he's coming at me now. If I only had a sword to block with, says Gao Yellow like an idiot.
Gaoblack grabs some water and chucks it at the sword and puts out the fire.
It doesn't look like it's enough water to douse the flames, but I guess it's just like it's the equivalent of water gun.
Yeah.
On like to a fire blast.
It works. Gaoblack says that's for Miss Shimada, which, dude, come on.
Let it go.
Gaoblack starts beating the shit out of the wedding dress org, picks it up, spins it around, slams it into stuff. The wedding dress org is like, wait, I was on top here for a minute. What's going on?
Nope. Black Ranger's powered by love, so there's going to be a lot of suplexes.
Yep. Gaoblack screams, "Love is strong," and the orc's like, "Yeah, you're freakishly strong. I don't like this." The Rangers form the evil beast crushing sword, and
Yokojukin.
immediately rock this org shit.
Get body.
So the org blows up, but throws its sword at Gaoblack, who catches it.
It threw the sword upwards. Black caught it and
Yeah,
then did a pose with it, and
and
so
the
that
org
way,
dies.
so they can at least reverse those girls. So that's good.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's convenient.
Very convenient. Yabai was like, "Hey, come on, do something. We can't disappoint Master Shootin'." Sui
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 Sui.
doesn't do her normal chanting. She just says, "Org's in. Good luck out."
No, that's her normal chanting. That she gets her
Normally,
catchphrase in.
normally she does like a whole like.
Yeah, there's usually an initial line, but
Yeah, she doesn't do it this time.
she gets her last line out, so that's the key. It's just like it's shortened.
Yeah, the Rangers call upon the power animals, which we get treated to like a song that I don't think they've played during this before. That just repeats "You Are the King" over
Oh
and
no,
over again.
this is the premiere of that song.
Okay, yeah. So it's just "You are the king, you are the king, you are the king." Wow, it's very catchy.
English is a nice handy language that Japanese people like to use. They don't really know the context of.
Yeah.
It's English. We don't need to have anything more than just this one word, this one sentence.
Right. The shark attacks the Rangers org all by itself, and then they transform to the Gao King, which is weird to me.
But just like the Gauss shark is just doing it.
Yeah, the Gao shark just ran in there, got in like one strike, and they're like, okay, time to form
It's
the
not even your
Megazord.
episode, Blue.
It's not even your episode, Blue. Exactly.
Swagger Jacker.
So yeah, they form Gao King, and they're ready to go.
Yep. They get all their stuff in, and they do their 2-punch, knocks out wedding dress org. The wedding dress org retaliates with like an energy beam.
Yep.
They take some damage and decide to go into sword shield mode because they just got their new toy, so they're gonna wear it out.
Exactly. Except for before they do that, Gaoblack says, "Let me take care of that." Bison double kick, and then the Megazord, the Gao King kicks Wedding Dress Org like 6 times.
Oh yeah, with like the chicken leg kicks,
Yeah.
like Yun's Ultra from Street Fighter 4, the skateboard one.
Yeah. Gao White calls upon the Gao Elephants. They form Sword and Shield mode. Get the transformation sequence.
At least Gaoblack kept it above the belt this time.
Yeah, right?
There's no Dick Kick City to be had today. This is Diane City. Diane, sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. The Rangers org shoots another energy beam. They block it with the shield. Then they do like a spinning tornado sword attack, knock it down, and then go into their powerful, bisecting, evil, crushing sword thing, and kill.
Oh, don't you mean the Pachyderm, the Pachyderm Crusher?
Is that? Oh.
No, that's the name in Wild Forest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No good.
It's the evil crushing. Yeah, I'll get it.
It's like it's bisecting something or other. Then we get another taste of "You Are the King" as they pose triumphantly. We cut back over to a crying baby, and Gaoblack restores Miss Shimada using the energy of the org sword, which I don't know how Gaoblack can use it. He's not an org, but hey.
It's not like the sword came with instructions.
But,
like I don't think there's a reverse button. Like I just think it's super convenient that both the orc who doesn't know how his power operates, or like the severity of how much youth to give to a target,
right
down to Gaoblack not even knowing, like, do I take enough years away from you. Imagine if she just like he fucked up and just like turned Miss Shimada into an old lady, like an Obasano all of a sudden. Just being like, whoops, took too much. All right, and it would just be like 20 minutes of trying to find the right age for this woman with the sword he didn't know how to use previously. But I suppose, you know, makes it easy. It's a 30-minute show. We gotta get this squared away.
We do.
So, do.
Gaoblack restores all the brides and kidnapped women, of which there are like 9. So they really, really fucked up.
There's a lot of wives that were like, a lot of brides that were just like, you know, taken and turned into statues. So in Wild Force, Gaoblack's not the one to reverse it. It's Merrick, and like Merrick's just running around in the basement. They filmed original footage for him just running around the hallways and then finding these dolls, and then somehow having the power to reverse them without the sword in his hand, because Gaoblack didn't give the sword to Merrick, and Merrick was in the building. So like, I guess the Silver Ranger's able to like, you know, reverse the power of orcs, but that's just weird. But we're getting way ahead of ourselves in mentioning the Silver Ranger.
Everyone's like, "Hey, I'm back. We're back. We're so glad. We're happy now."
Oh, and because it was episode 20, they had to film original footage of Sue and Yavaiba's Wild Force equivalents of Jindrax and Toxica in their advanced forms.
Oh.
So they had to make entirely new costumes for these scenes. And I'm just like, you wonder why the budget inflates. You're making original footage and making this fit. You could have just not made this episode.
Yeah, could have just skipped it.
Nothing new happens. Just leave it out. This isn't even the first instance. In Lightspeed Rescue, they had to make original footage for their 6th Ranger, because guess what? In Lightspeed Rescue's Sentai equivalent, there is no 6th Ranger. They just created one, thus proving that like Saban will just stick to that formula even if the formula doesn't exist. We need that 6th Ranger. We need to film original footage. We need this Ryan dude to just, you know, like have plot, because we don't have a 6th Ranger. It's just fighting demons. But no, we need a 6th Ranger, guys. We need to sell toys.
Gotta sell toys.
The power of merchandise.
So we cut over to Miss Shimada just standing out in front of a fountain, and Gaoblack walks up behind her. The other Rangers are there too. They're like, "You helped the wedding dress org, didn't you, Mrs. Shimada?" Or Miss Shimada. And Gaoblack immediately prostrates himself in front of his fellow Rangers and says, "She didn't know what she was doing. She was fooled by the org. That's all. Please forgive her. Please forgive her." Right, Miss Shimada? And she's like, "What? Why are you working so hard for me?"
Maybe she's just not that into you.
Like I mentioned, he does it down on all fours and begs them to forgive her. They don't say anything.
Like I said, Gabriello was checked out of this plot.
Yeah, he's out of here.
Everyone is just like, "What is Gaoblack's deal today? Is he alright?"
But Miss Shimada says, "Are you doing this for me? What's going on here?" Gaoblack's like, "Yeah, I totally fucking am." He says, "You are so beautiful. Your beauty isn't about your youth or your figure. You know, remember when you cheered me up when I was in trouble? Yeah, you're a good person on the inside. And that's what counts. The inside."
That was a minute of her time.
Yeah, that was just a minute of her time, dude, you incel. Miss Shimada says, "You know what? I'm sorry. I was wrong." She's like, "I wasn't confident in myself, and that's why I helped that org." And Gaoblack's like, "You won my heart." So he's like, so please be confident. She's like, thank you, Mr. Gao. Whoever gets to marry someone as kind and as tough as you is very lucky. And he's like, yeah, totally, right?
Yeah, right?
Gao White is signaling to Gaoblack to go ahead and fucking seal the deal on this. He's like, we're going to forgive her. Just fucking come through on this. And
She's doing everything up to and including thumbs up from like behind. Just
yeah,
you got this, bro.
get this. Gaoblack says, if it's okay with you, will you, that's when she gets a weird look on her face, and she says, I will get married. I wasn't sure for a while, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to get married. Gaoblack's like, yeah, that's awesome. We're going to do that.
Yeah, I have this whole, sorry, I'm trying to come up with the term here. My whole, I have this whole job that I have to do where I have to defend the world against orcs, and I don't even know, the end point of this job. I just know that, I have to save the day on a routine basis, so I should totally think about marriage and,
Yeah.
involving somebody into my life. That sounds like a good, smart idea.
So, Gaoblack thinks she's talking about him. She is not, because the manager of the wedding hall shows up. He's bandaged up as fuck on a crutch, and she runs over to him. He's like, "Oh, he asked me to marry him. I was thinking about it. I wasn't sure, but you gave me the confidence to say yes. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to marry him. I'm going to marry him with confidence.
I'm going to walk down the aisle with this man. As soon as he gets the ability to walk,
Yeah.
under his own assistance. Because that judo throw did a number on him. Where'd they get all that gauze? First aid kit is
easy to make.
Is doing the work of angels.
But Gaoblack's like, wait, what do you mean? Miss Shimada? Oh. To which Gaorai runs up and says, hey, cheer up. Gal Blue says, yeah, you always have me. Oh, that's not a consolation prize, my friend.
You are illegal, kid.
Illegal. Gal Red is crying. He's like, you're so intern.
It's a touching story. And Gal Yellow is trying to swallow his intimate rage at all this bullshit going around him.
He just says it was a short-lived love.
Thinking of all the things Gal Yellow has to tolerate in the year of his service, he has to deal with this shit today.
Yeah.
And that's why I checked out. I'm so done with this one.
We watch these two people walk away comedically as the man keeps falling over. I've already forgotten his name.
Mr. Yamashita, I say.
Whatever. Gal Yellow says, this is stupid. Let's get out of here. Gal Blue calls for Gal Black. He's like, hey, Black.
It's Yamagata. Not Yamagata.
Okay. Gal Blue says, hey, Black, you deserved it. Ha
ha! Fuck up.
Gal Black chases after them. Gal Red chases after the rest of them. That's where the episode ends. Boom. Running off, having fun.
So, how much they strive to be a cookie cutter show in Wild Force. Even that it's a tender, sad moment where Danny says that Kendall has to carry on with her own life because Danny has to do his own thing. Being a responsible adult and all.
Yeah.
They're walking off, and then Max tries to add some levity to the situation by being like gotcha, and then they start running away in the same way they did this one, and it was just like such a wet fart of a happy moment to give some levity to a very impactful moment. They should have just left the episode with them walking away, but no, this is a kids show for kids, so we need a happy-go-lucky runaway scene where everyone's like on to the next adventure, you guys. So they needed to have the same ending as this one.
Yeah. Well,
You can deviate, you guys. You're just using the footage. Must ya?
So that's the episode. I didn't much care for it, to be honest.
Not a fan.
Not a good
And
movie.
going through the pronoun trouble in Wild Force was not worth this.
Ugh.
And at least episode 7 and episode 7 are the same next week.
Hey, there we go.
I don't have to shoot ahead, which is just weird because like a lot of plot elements that come up were like glossed over. Like, oh yeah, we just threw America into the plot, guys. He doesn't even show up unmorphed in this episode. Well, actually, he does. He like he shows up like in the background as Priestess Sheila like is like Shayla's telling him about the wedding thing, and like and like Danny's going on about the power of love, and like Merrick is in the background like power of love, man, love is strong.
Love is strong.
Yeah, because like in Wild Force, Merrick and Shayla have a relationship, but they had a relationship like before the orcs attacked, and Merrick spent 1,000 years sleeping. So yeah, it doesn't get brought up a lot. But yeah, that's a plot for Wild Force, but that's something you're not going to really experience in this show for sure.
No, not at all. So, I don't really have anything else to say about this episode personally. If you have
I can be found on Twitter at Justice Ray. I am looking forward to going to episode 7 and introducing and getting past this wackadoo episode that didn't need to happen.
Yeah. So people can find you on Twitter at Justice Ray.
Yep.
There we go.
JUST #1CEREI. If you want to bug me about this episode and like why we even used it in America, I have no problem with you guys bugging me about it. Where can they find you on Twitter?
You can find me, as always, on Twitter at DatFirePrincess, spelled D-A-T. You can find me on my numerous podcasts I do, such as Pining for the Falls, where it's just this, but for Gravity Falls. A much better show, if we're being honest.
There's not nearly enough karate kicks in Gravity Falls.
Fair enough.
I come here for the kicks, okay?
Okay. But yeah, that's it. So remember, until next time, where there is life,
there's a roar of justice.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah!
All right, bye.
I remember the line.
You remember the line. All right, we're out of here, y'all. Laters.